What have you seen inside someone's home that made you view them differently? Trick or treating as a kid, we were always scared to go to one neighbor's house. The yard nor home was well kept. Stories circulated the neighborhood for years that he was a mean man, had killed his family, etc. As a dare, I ran up and rang the doorbell, and as I tried to run away, an older gentleman opened the door. He said, "I don't get many kids nowadays. Happy Halloween," and held out a bowl of yummy candy bars. I peeked in, and it was a meticulously kept home on the inside. A little candle lit, neatly folded blankets and magazines next to his lazy boy chair. He was so kind. I believe his kids were grown and had moved away. Wife had passed away years ago. Made me not believe the rumors that get started about people. Their Labrador in a crate so small it could only turn around with great difficulty. The crate was anchored to the wall because otherwise the dog would thrash around in the crate until it shook and moved across the floor. I asked if the dog had done something wrong to be put in timeout in the crate, like chewing up some shoes. My ex-friend said no, that's just where the dog lived for the most part. It got out every so often to eat or toilet in the yard, but all other times of day and night it was crated. Their reasoning was that when they let it out the crate, it was too hyper and destructive, probably cause it spent its whole life stuck in a tiny fucking box. I argued with the friend and left the house on bad terms. I did phone an animal rights hotline but was told there wasn't anything they could do. Since the dog was technically provided food, shelter, and decently hygienic conditions, it wasn't illegal to crate them near constantly, even though the org agreed it was neglectful, abusive. I'm a CSI. I went to a residential burglary when I used to work at an agency in North Carolina. The homeowners were in their 70s. Their house was your typical grandparents' place with lace doilies everywhere, flowers and photos all over the walls of the entire extended family. A table near his chair with hunting and fishing magazines. A table near her chair with knitting needles and yarn. The whole 9 yards you'd expect to see at Grandma and Grandpa's house. As the lady was showing me around with the officer to tell me what was stolen or moved, I came to a slightly ajar door next to the master bedroom suite. I asked her if anything had been moved in there. She said she wasn't sure since she had called the police the moment they had gotten home from church and realized their house had been broken into. I elbowed open the door. Full-on sex dungeon room. We're talking sex swing, hooks on the ceilings with ropes, restraints on boards nailed to the wall, cuffs, paddles, floggers, strap-on harnesses on hooks, ball gags of various sizes, video camera on a tripod, you name it. She looked around, put her hand on her chest, and with what seemed a sigh of relief said, "No, thank you, Lord. It looks like nothing was touched in here." I will never look at an old woman in a Peter Pan collar and flower-patterned dress the same now. Was dating a girl for a couple of weeks and went to hang out with a couple she was close friends with. We are at their house, hanging out, and having a pretty good time. They seem pretty cool. The guy starts talking about the iguanas they have and asked if I wanted to see them. They had a separate room for them. We go in there, see the big cages with lizards. They were very impressive, and the big fucking Ku Klux Klan posters on the wall next to them. I made an excuse to leave their home soon after. My girlfriend asked what was wrong, and I explained what I saw. She knew and didn't think it was any big deal. It ended that relationship as well. Went over to have a post-work smoke sesh. Dude's wife was strung out, toddler just hanging out, an infant in a playpen, both unsupervised, dog-free roaming, cigarette butts put out everywhere, and just piles of dog shit all over the house. I dipped immediately instead of smoking, told him exactly why, because his house was disgusting, and I didn't feel comfortable getting stoned in front of children. Then I reported him to CPS and called my boss to let him know that if coworker didn't show up, it's because I called CPS on him. My boss was pretty chill about it. Homeboy lost his job because of the charges he picked up. They found meth, coke, weed, popped him for distro, possession, illegal firearm possession, child endangerment, child neglect, and abuse of a minor. Apparently the kids were severely malnourished, and misuse of welfare, want WIC benefits. Thanks for watching. Write your story in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and see you tomorrow.